It is I. What you are seeing in your mind's eye now is there are souls who are crossing back and forth between dimensions, practicing living in these greater dimensions while still in form. That wall or that boundary line is thin and one can traverse. Back and forth. For the majority, the wall is quite solid, and the belief systems reveal that this is an impenetrable wall, or in fact, there is no wall to perceive because other dimensions, otherness beyond this reality is not perceived. They are here acting out within the bounds that they were given. Deferring to all that they were taught and told, and do not speculate beyond that, let alone feel beyond that. This is what must be accepted by those who are traversing, passing between these perceived barriers by the collective, the greater collective. These barriers do not apply to you, and we do feel and perceive the confusion by those who are perhaps not completely aware that they are passing through these once accepted barriers of reality. It is at this timing, in this view of the collective, in this snapshot, for that is all it is, for it is dynamic and timeless more than anything. But to translate, we must use some of these terms. At this snapshot, this view, through this lens, in this now moment, the decisions have been made as to how each individual's reality, each individual's world will unfold, what will be experienced. In order to understand the meaning or the purpose of this life. Each individual, while they may have shared experiences, will be receiving the experience in the ways that will provide the best reflection for them upon their departure from physical reality. Many will be transforming in this way. And as we have given before in these now moments, these views, energetic assessments, there are certain trajectories that the majority of souls will proceed forward into actual experience, into manifesting that which they believe will occur. This is why we have encouraged the practice of presence, to know what you feel in any given moment so that you may always feel what you know. Knowing thyself so that the self may inform the life. There is not a way that would be acceptable to the 3D mind intellect to describe or translate what this transition will look like for those who are already passing through that wall. Back and forth. These are the ones who bridge these dimensions. These are the ones who have forged the way forward. Whether it can be explained to the 3D mind or not, this is happening. And those who are at peace, live in love, will find themselves passing over this bridge. In the timing in which the energetics open to send off and to receive. And even this is not a time-space based event or experience translated into 3 dimensions. As we said, many of you are crossing back and forth between these once dimensional walls or boundary lines. For some of you, you do not experience the boundary line as severely as others. You have had this time to traverse back and forth, to get adjusted, and to feel what this feels like. You are transforming. So while you will be witness to the breaking down, the further breakdown, the further enactment of fear from individual humans and collective groups of humans, it is very important that you know this vibration. This is what is not translatable. It is a felt experience. And you have been realizing more and more that you become more and more irrelevant when you speak of the energetics, the energy that is actually occurring, the energy of the bridge. This is, as you would say, the point of no return. And for those who are expanding, and the bridge is opening, and they are beginning to perceive this in some way, on some level, then they align their energetics to this compass, and they are pulled forward. They are pulled through. The work, if there is any work, the attention would be on staying neutral and staying in love. Note where you become reactionary. If what is occurring in the outer world upsets you, enrages you, worries you, correct it. Ask yourself, is that my path to fix that? Is there some way that I can help? And your body will inform you, yes or no. If you cannot help, let them go. The reactions are there to show you your remaining attachments, your resonance, your remaining belief systems that you feel you must fight or defend or save. It is time to move forward. It is time to expand. It is understood this level of challenge for one who has been embodied as a human being in this lower dimensional realm with very little reflection for what you know to be true. And yet you still expand and move forward and trust, because the beacon that you are being pulled into is the light. It is love. It is the way. It is not the conditioned mind that decides to cross the bridge, to be welcomed into a greater reality, a greater, more natural state of human. These choices are not made on the level of the thinking mind and therefore the conditioned mind, for the soul has been suppressed. It is the soul that is pulling you forward. It is your resonant relationship with the soul that pulls you forward. The conditioning in this reality that you are emerging from, some of you are emerging from, it is not possible with the thinking mind to understand and accept what is being said here. At a certain point, this is not possible. All one can do is be it and demonstrate it and move forward. You are not here to save everyone. And at a certain point, your soul sees and knows this from its perspective. But at a certain point, there is the letting go and the allowing of the people around you in your daily life and the people that you see on the media screens. Release that idea that you can help or save. People have chosen their paths. You see, the calendars are no longer relevant to you. This is happening now. And you are drifting back and forth. We are speaking to the ones who are aware of this and simply need these reminders that it is so. This validation of what they feel. And cannot be interpreted in the old 3D experience. So you are not in time and space in this particular journey across the bridge. There is no calendar date to refer to. The calendars, indigenous ancient calendars, pointed to the cycle that was ending and pointed to a cycle that was beginning. You have been in this in-between ever since. And even that number of years does not matter. There is some part of you that knows what the date is. You have your calendars that you refer to. You have your lives that seem to have some framework, some consistency with what you have been living in before. But if you really ask yourselves now, what are your memories from before? What do you have in this moment that is important from the past? And what do you have as a goal for the future? Some of you are being lifted off of these timeline-focused experiences. And this is the drifting back and forth across these dimensional walls that were once thought to be so solid that most of humanity agreed. It was through death that one, physical death, that one left this reality. And this is how it appeared from your shared 3D experience, and something that you could all agree upon. That one passes away, they are gone. Perhaps recycled back through, depending on your belief systems. But what is important is here and now, always. This is the movement or the transcendence out of all of these timelines. And as you can tell, simply listening to what we have been sharing and is being translated, it is not possible to explain it to one who does not feel. It is the soul, it is feeling, it is heart that pulls you forward across this bridge. And once again, there is nothing that you can do to change the minds of those who have made their choices. We understand there are conundrums. How does one make money? How does one continue to eat, to sustain the physical body? How does one protect themselves from the violence, the shadow that erupts from within every human being to play out in this dimension? The answer is simply to stay in tune, at peace, in balance. Recognize what is true. Feel what vibrates as the truth and listen to that. Again, notice when you become reactionary and correct it immediately. And we speak to those who will understand these messages. So yes, to the channel, this is what we have been preparing you for. There will be a time when you simply do not have anything more to say in the direction that you have been saying it, and on the platforms that you have been sharing. You are empowered in this moment and in this space, this vibrational space, to create this in the way that you are inspired. And that is very wide open. As you see, we are perceiving, you feel this unlimited possibility. What does humanity, what do human beings in this space do with unlimited potential? What does that look like? What do you create? Who are you creating it for? One must reorient. Who are you and what do you want? If your particular mission in the old world paradigm is complete, then are you dead? Have you transcended already? What do you do? What do you share? How do you relate to those who are cycling through their own pain, confusion, rage, anger, terror? Do you engage with it? And why do you engage with it? You do see that at a certain point, there is no connection. All that you can do is be it and demonstrate it. Teaching is irrelevant. Immersion, living it, immersive learning environments is a hint. Apprenticeship, mentoring, helping souls to orient, as we have given before. This is the work now. You will design it in the way that you are inspired. And you will know what you need to know when you need to know it. Those of you who came here to do what you do in this way and at these crossroads between worlds is to help in the greatest ways possible through your inspiration, through your willingness to be here and radiate and share until it is no longer possible. And yet you are still here. Turn your attention from the masses now into the direction of this love. How does this love inform you now? In each day and in each new moment, what is important? Listen, trust, and act on that which fills you with love, joy, or a simple, radiant, peaceful, balanced state. Rest in this for a time. Many of you in this space that we are describing to the channel that can relate or resonate, many of you do know that you have been in this space of questioning, what now? What now? How do I be here? Am I leaving? Is this it? Is this the end? It is an end to all that you were participating in before and inspired to do and act based on the collective energies at the time. You are transcending this. And this is new territory, as you say, and you are adjusting to it. So notice your relationship to the earth, to your bodies, to beauty, to grace, to peace. Notice that you're still in a shared space with those who do not perceive these things. Notice when you have a tendency to want to teach them or correct them. Correct your own perceptions. Turn your heart in the direction of expansion. Flow with that. Things are not so literal here in these spaces. When the fears erupt, when the suggestions of something less than love erupt, simply bring your attention to it and ask for the help in healing it to restore your sight to that which is clear, open, expanding, loving, empowered. This is how you move forward. This is how you expand into more. So that which was always imagined as some future event that was translated in 3D terms, you are actually experiencing now. And do you see why it cannot be translated backwards? If there are those who can still see you and perceive you, and are inspired or comforted or nurtured by you, wonderful. But you are not designing a curriculum. You are not saving anyone. You are being who you are. And if others can see you and be inspired by that, then that is you serving your purpose. Do and be what inspires you, what you love. Create, live, laugh, love, demonstrate. Truth, light, peace. We thank you for your courage, your strength, your service. We are all one. This is one light, one way of being. You are simply feeling this interconnectedness now more and more. All is well. Trust. And rest in this knowing that you are the light. You are this love. You are this joy, beauty, grace, power. Always, in any form, in any trajectory that you have chosen, at any time, space, reality. We thank you, as always, for your service in this way. Lift yourselves now into this joy. Lift yourselves into all that is real. Let go. Let go of the past. Let go of the ideas of what you were here to do. You will be guided. Always. Good day. Wow. Oh my God. So I'm just going to add this here after coming out of this. I just, saw another aspect of this because there's so much data. Only a tiny stream of it gets interpreted through words. Everyone's identity, personality, everything that we thought we were and thought we lived within, from, all levels of awareness is done. The identity and the persona is done. And then how we deal with that. Do we know ourselves as this these amazing beings of light, points of light, and we're not attached to how things go in 3D storyland, that's how we can transcend this more easily. Oh, geez, this is so incredible. This view that I'm getting at the same time. So, no attachment to identity, and just be as best that you can as your consciousness is traversing and going back and forth through, getting used to higher dimensional reality while still being in 3D. It's just amazing what they're showing me. But the freedom that I felt from letting go and not having to feel like I'm failing if I don't keep creating and finding ways to, inspire people to remember more of who they are. I can let that all go. What that ends up translating to, I have no idea at this point, but that felt freeing. Anyway, I just wanted to add this extra note.
Have you ever opened your heart to just take in the view? That's what love would do. And yeah, that's what love would do.